One of the challenges when I'm doing positioning and messaging work with companies is that they ask about the deliverables. We go through all this research, we look at buyer personas, we do competitive analysis. There's a lot of grunt work that needs to happen. And at the end of the day, the question is, well, so what do I get? What are you going to give me? The other side of the coin is, what's my ROI from all this positioning and messaging strategy? How can I measure whether the work that you've done actually worked? In the case of Fletch, you could use maybe testing on homepage messaging pre and now, but there's so much subjectivity when it comes to positioning and messaging in a
Yeah.
data-driven world. So two question here. One is, what are the deliverables? And how do companies measure ROI so they can look at someone like you and I and go, yes, the work you did was awesome and it really worked.
The first one, deliverables, is really funny. We've taken our process, or we've worked on a process with about 110 startups so far. The first 20 or 30 or so, we were just delivering what we called this messaging house. It's basically like the strategic canvas of here's our positioning and our supporting messaging. And we still do that. That's like a key part. It's like that second step before we move into copywriting. But when we put that in front of folks, they're like, this is so great. I'm like looking at my positioning. I'm looking at what I should say. And they had the exact question. Now, what do I do? Go build your product to do this. Go say this. Go work on like your website. Put this into a sales pitch. Go do the work that is selling your product. And they all were like, they don't know where to begin. We realized really quickly that we had to anchor around an asset. And we probably could have picked any asset from content marketing things that they could have been doing. We decided to choose the homepage. We did that strategically because we believe that the homepage is this like mirror image of your positioning, where it's like this litmus test of, can you communicate your value in a short period of time? And there's some art to that. That's one. Those are the assets that we think about because they do struggle, especially these early stage folks. The second question is a big one of measurement. How do you measure positioning and messaging? Honestly, if someone solves that, they'll be making a bunch of money. The way we combat that, because we get the question from folks, when you get into assets, what are you trying to actually do? And some folks come to us and they're trying to increase conversions. Conversions to what? Because without context, that means nothing. A specific example is we worked with a company who came to us and we have pretty good conversions on our homepage message. We get 80 meetings a month. We go, okay, that's great. But we thought their messaging was not so great. And they're like, when we go through this, we're gonna get 100? And we're like, is the goal 100 or is the goal the actual amount that fit your product that are going to be good customers at the end? There's a very real outcome that's extremely positive where instead of 80 leads, we get you 50 leads, but they're much more vetted into what you actually do. By the time they get into the demo and the sales process, they're more likely to buy. For them, it clicked. For others, they look at that and they're like, they don't understand the connection of what positioning and messaging is this big picture piece. And so the way we combat it ultimately is we don't promise anything other than clarity around your positioning and clarity around your message. Anything else would be BS. And we think a lot of agencies out there that are like, hey, well, fix your positioning and improve your growth and all that. We think it's bullshit. They can't promise that. There's too many variables. We have no control over what they've built. We have no control over their talent and the channels they're using, all the stuff that they're bringing to the site. You're effectively asking, how do you measure product market fit when you're making changes? And really, product market fit, it's like really difficult to measure. And it's usually something you measure retroactively. Look at all that. That's our views on that. It's obviously pretty squishy in terms of a topic, but we just tell them we don't measure it. We want to give you confidence and clarity to know what you're saying. Then you got to go test this, and it's going to change. Your early stage, it's going to be wrong, but that's
Yeah.
how we approach it.
Yeah.